Hi there, it's Catherine, your lawyer friend and guide, and this is the #1 podcast for legal careers in Japan. Hi everyone, and thanks for stopping by the Lawyer on Air podcast. At some point in a lawyer's career, the job stops being about doing the work and starts being about shaping how the work gets done. Today's episode is about that shift in perspective. The moment when you realize your role is no longer just about check in, do the legal work, check out. Instead, it becomes something different. It is the shift when you start to really shape the environment where those decisions are made. My guest today, Keiko Uchida, Head of Legal and Compliance at Roche Diagnostics Japan, has had exactly that kind of moment in her career, moving from being deeply focused on solving individual legal issues to thinking about leadership, organisational change, and how legal teams can help business move forward. We talk about the lunch conversation with her boss that made her completely forget about her sushi and changed her career trajectory. Now she's an award-winning builder of a collaborative legal network across the Asia-Pacific region. When lawyers step beyond the role of technical expert and begin shaping the organisation, that's when the magic happens. So if you're looking for a little bit of magic, lessons in life, law, and leadership, then settle into this conversation with Keiko Uchida. And with that, let's get into it. Hello, Keiko, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Catherine. Thank you for inviting me.
So excited to have you. And we always have the same opening question. Imagine that we are meeting up in person. Where are we, and what are you ordering to drink from the menu?
Great question, Catherine. If I have the chance to meet you in person, I would take my little favorite Japanese restaurant where lots of great sake are there.
Oh, what's the name of that restaurant?
It's going to be the secret. I will take you.
Oh, it's a secret one. Oh, I like that. Very mysterious. It has lots of sake, and is it kind of izakaya style or a little different?
Yes, it's a izakaya which has a small capacity, but they are very friendly, and the sake is super nice from around Japan.
Sounds like fun. Can you give me one hint? Is it in Tokyo?
Yes.
Is it in Minato-ku area?
Yes.
Okay, so with sake, what do you normally have? What's the food that you love to have with that?
They have the seasonal cuisine, so we will eat seasons.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, Keiko, you are at Roche. How long have
Yes.
you been there, and what's your role?
This is my 5th year, and my role is the head of legal and compliance, as well as compliance officer, dealing with data privacy as well.
Wow, fantastic. What first sparked your interest in law?
When I was little, I really like wording and then books, so I'm very fascinated to have words. And then later on, I noticed that the lawyers can move things forward with words and then the sentences. That's why I decided to be a lawyer if I look back my past.
I see. And I mean, you're now a really critical leader in the community. Did you imagine that you'd be on this leadership path as well as doing law?
When I entered into the law society, I was really enjoying about each cases, but not as a leader of the business. So I was really enjoying, such as if I say that it's kind of orchestra, I was playing the violin when I was in the first of the career, and then I was really enjoying playing my notes. After that, I started to have the opportunity to be leadership positions. Then I noticed that I'm changing my job to like the conductor in the orchestra. That was really a aha moment for me.
Ah, you've moved from violin to conductor. That's incredible. I love that. I mean, I often ask people what their career would be if it was a metaphor. And I love how you've just called it like an orchestra. So you're one of the instruments and now you're conducting the other instruments.
Yes.
Ooh, that's amazing. Your early career was in finance, though, right? And academia, and then you went into law. So, how did those different worlds shape you to be this conductor leader that you are now?
So after graduate from the university, I entered into the securities. Securities provided me lots of opportunities to really know what kind of business are in the society, how we make the business, how we shape the business, and then how we execute the business. Also, they taught me how to read the numbers, to construct the businesses, and then to continue the businesses. With these great opportunities, I learned the foundation of the business. And then moving forward, I was very blessed to have the opportunity to have contract roles within the trust banks. And then I met the power of the words again. And then I was really fascinated to the law again. After that, I got a really great opportunity to join the University of Tokyo as an assistant. I researched how we can fund small like entertainment businesses, and then how we can open these businesses forward with the power of laws and then financials. After this fascinating a few years, I was very lucky to meet my husband and got married. After I married with my husband, I was very happy a housewife for a few years.
Nice.
But I decided to contribute to the society in a different shape again. So when I pregnant my first daughter, I took the entrance exam to the law school, and then I got into the law school after I delivered my first kids. So
Hang on. Were you studying? You weren't doing any study while you were pregnant?
yes, yes, like the university student. That was
Oh, I
fun.
see. Goodness me, you've been busy. Wow. Did you actually then work in private practice at any time?
Yes, after I got the bar, I
Yes.
practiced in the Marines.
Ah,
So yes, that was really fascinating. Lots of stakeholders.
right, I see. And after you did your private practice, you moved in-house, though. It seems like in-house has become where you feel more natural. Is that right, or was it more like a leap?
It was actually more natural for me. I knew how the corporate works because I was in the securities, I was in the bank. So I thought I can mix the strengths of the law as well as business.
I see. So you're now working in the leadership team and doing your various roles. How did you then move from being that kind of technical legal expert to being more of a strategic leader? Because you're really leading across the organization there.
Thank you very much, Catherine. That wasn't a very easy path for me.
Mm,
So first, I was in the corporate as a legal counsel. There, I was really enjoying to solve each cases. And then one day, my CEO at that time took me to the lunch, and then
mm.
he asked me the question, like, do you want to be a leader who's gonna solve 100 questions with one or zero evidences, or do you want to be a lawyer who can solve one case with 100 evidence? And then at that time, I was really a lawyer. So I was thinking, I really want to continue the lawyer. But when I sleep one night, I decided to take this opportunity because I thought I can have more contributions to the society, to the company. And then that excited me really much.
Yeah, that's not the kind of typical question you get at lunch, is it? Do you want to be a leader who solves 100 questions with zero or little evidence? Or do you want to be a lawyer who can solve, was it one question with 100 pieces of evidence?
Yes, exactly.
What? Did you not stop eating your sushi and think, what's this kind of question? That
I
would blow
don't
me away. If I was asked that question, it would really make me stop. But did you know from your gut the immediate answer?
Catherine, that was super good. I don't remember how much sushi I ate that time, but yeah, that was really powerful question for me in my life. I still remember, and then that moves my life too. That was a great moment for me.
Yeah. Have you ever asked since why that question came up? Have you talked to him about that question?
I didn't ask that directly to him. He was the CEO, but he was a lawyer as well.
Mm.
So maybe I assumed that he had the same experience, and then he had a great CEO for him too. That's what my
Yeah,
assumption.
maybe from his own experience, he had that
Right.
insight for you and probably saw that in you, could see that you're, great lawyer, but also the leader that you are now. Amazing. What do you think have been the skills that you had to develop to move beyond that kind of legal analysis to be this sort of succeed at this executive level that you are now?
Right. Thank you very much. I think the role is to really make the future of the company. So what you're seeing is a future, and then you will execute the future with the current status, making the change. So management is what they will execute with the current resource, and the leaders would make the futures to embrace the changes. So
Oh.
this kind of like mindset is the key to really
Mm.
change it.
And when you're making the future of the company, there's very little evidence, only the evidence you've got right now.
Right.
So that sort of ties back to that conversation you had at lunch. You've got very little evidence to work on. I think that's probably what he's also saying is that that's what you need to be comfortable with.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
very interesting. Looking back now, then, when did you think you saw some part of you that was moving from not just being a lawyer and you're a great lawyer, but through as a business leader?
With the experience that I'm joining to these kind of meetings that the leaders are saying or leaders are there, and then when I see that the leaders are doing, I started to be fascinated to what I can do, and then little by little, I was really grateful to have these kind of opportunities to make the law to be embedded in the company's strategy.
What kind of opportunities are they? Can you think of one that really was making a difference?
One of the experiences that comes to my mind is that I was in the data privacy, and then I wanted to secure how I can secure our data privacy. And I was thinking to embed it in the contract, but it's not enough. So as a lawyer, I think the answer is yes. Embed the terms and conditions in the contract. However, as a company, if the secret goes out of the company, even though the contract is great, it's nothing. So I think of the system that we should have. And then with a collaboration with my peer leaders, we started to create the security teams within the team, which is outside of the legal. As for this kind of experience, leads me to really see who we are, where we are. Then the law is with the support or with one of the tool or one of the great enforcement for us to be. The experience taught me how I will really see the outcome of my action rather than doing my legal case.
Right. I see what you're saying. And often as lawyers, right, it's in the contract. I've done my job. Check. On to the next thing. But you've gone and taken a step back and almost like widened the lens on the camera so that you can see big picture, all the landscape and capture, other people into the system of making that collaboration where you can actually prevent it, not just have it as a term sitting in a contract on a piece of paper or online, but also making it actually really work.
Yes, exactly, Catherine. And then I, through that 1 year, I also noticed that the system itself doesn't work if people are not there. So I try to have many, many meetings with many, many colleagues so that people can be motivated, people can really see the future together. So this kind of like framework and then people and the motivation and the passion of the people really be the key.
Yes, having them take on the ownership for the protection of the data.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, have you had any kind of challenges along the way there to, have this work for you? Any challenging leadership lessons you've had so far?
Yes, I'm having the challenges every day. As for the first stage, I struggled to unlearn to be a lawyer. So
Mm,
my time is just 24 hours. If I want to be the conductor of the orchestra, I have to stop some of the part of the violinist. So
mm.
that was really hard for me. I was really thinking if I lose my expertise, how I can build my career. So I was in the struggle for that for a while, but I decided to be in the leadership roles because I see the value to motivate the people to make the future of the company. So that was the first challenge for me. The second challenge is how I can really respect my team members, how I can really resonate with their growth along with the company's growth. Company keeps growing. Our team should always be marked to the market as a legal value. So we have to grow together. And then that's a great journey, enjoyable journey. But at the same time, I can do that only I respect the people. I can do that only if my team member are really enjoying working together.
Right. So do you see your team members and your peers there as people in the orchestra?
I say yes because the company's outcome will not stand alone with legal technical solution, but within the company, in-house legal will connect the dots to solve the questions to get the outcome. So
Right.
yes,
Yeah. Interesting, right? But you're the conductor up there and unable to be the violinist, but you've got to guide the violinist and guide the person on xylophone, guide the person on the double bass, right? So you've got to work together and or else the orchestra can't perform and create music.
yes,
So when you look at your journey so far, what are you most proud of? Can I ask you that?
I truly try to
Mm.
respect my colleagues, my team members, so that they can be authentic of themselves.
How about for yourself? What about something you're proud of that you have done within yourself? I think it's great to talk about
Mm.
your colleagues, but something that you've achieved.
Thank you very much, Catherine. I'm very proud of my career in terms of I've been trying to struggle, and then I have the clear purpose that I want to double the productivity of the Japanese company.
Amazing. What a goal to have. And how's that going?
I think the Japanese company has a great talent, great skills. And then if we can be aware of the productivity versus the perfectivity, that's going to move our speeds and the productivity so far. And then to really have this would be would have the challenge of the mindset change. And these are the tasks for the leaders to embed the Japanese company over these 10 years, I think.
Amazing. And you've been recognized, I think, as APAC Changemaker of the Year.
Oh, yes.
Was that within the company or was that external?
it's external of the Roche Diagnostics in Japan, but it's within the Roche Diagnostics group in APAC.
Amazing. And that's an award for building a regional legal network.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, that's a conductor in action, surely. Congratulations. What inspired you then to create that network? How did you get that award? Why do you think you got that?
Oh, thank you very much. The reason of the award is I did the additional leadership roles to within the APAC, and I think the other reason is to really make the network so that the APAC legal colleagues can talk and then can discuss when they decide.
So, what other additional leadership roles did you do apart from being already a lawyer leader?
As for the head of the legal and compliance in RDKK, I was in the squad for the APAC region, and then I met the APAC network to have the quarterly calls among the legal colleagues, and then have the annual conference together, so that they can really see the people and the expertise, so that they can reach out.
Oh, and so did you help organize that conference?
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
Together with the other APAC colleagues,
Right.
we had the conference.
Incredible. And how did you then go and practically build that whole trust and collaboration amongst the countries in APAC and the cultures? It's very diverse, and I've been in an APAC role before, but every country is different. So, how did you go about that? Is there any kind of insight you can give us that really, really worked?
Yes, I think the beauty of the APAC is really the diverse and then embrace the other cultures. So what I did is I said that we will have some network calls and the network communities, please join. And then there are some of the colleagues are interested. So I started to have some one-on-one check-ins. And then I really get to know who we are, what they are doing. And then after having this kind of small chat, I started to have some monthly meetings to really brainstorm what we want, what we can value add. And after that, we will have the conference. And then the purpose of the conference is to have one image who we want to be. And then after that, we pick the topics that we want to get to know. And then we are commencing on that.
So, what I'm hearing is that it's absolutely important for people to be having communication, being available, and you've been able to do that, to provide that kind of atmosphere for people to do that.
Yes, yes, because the legal colleagues are by themselves, or most of the time, one or two person in one country. So the legal colleagues want to have someone to discuss in the similar cases. Also, because they are understaffed with their everyday work, we got to have someone who can really support what kind of capacity is needed for these kind of countries. So from the objective view, we can have that advice that with this kind of amount of work, we need one more people, or we can be more efficient with these kind of AIs.
Maybe this is a similar question then, as I was going to ask you the advice that you would give legal leaders who want to build that strong regional and global community that you have within their organization. Is there anything you can add here, one or two things?
Right. The most important thing is to really respect the local laws and then the decision of the local lawyers, because they are the expert who knows about the market, who knows about the business, and who has the expertise. However, they are facing the similar challenges that all the other legal colleagues in the company are facing. And then in the long term, if you can support these local colleagues by the structural opinion, that's what kind of amount of work they should receive, what kind of advice was valid to the business, that can also balance, and then that can provide the continuity of legal colleagues within the many network colleagues.
Right. So it sounds like you've got this I don't know, I saw a Venn diagram pop up in my mind, where you've got one side is local market and respecting your colleagues in the regions, and the other side is everyone has the same challenges. And in that middle, it seems that's where you've got your growth area of being able to provide the most contribution as the conductor helping out.
Yes, exactly, Catherine.
Great. Is there anything else you wanted to say around this area of leadership in the region, leadership within the organization that we might have just skipped over?
What I want to say is I had many, many mistakes too. And
Mm, we all
but
do. Is there anything you want to share there with mistakes and getting over that?
right. So first, I thought that the law is really the solution for everything. So I was really strong to say that from the legal perspective, this is right or this is wrong. But it's really kind of nothing if in terms of the business in some of the cases. So really be open-minded and then really notice the unconsciousness of yourself would really open your world every day.
So you're mentioning this noticing of the unconsciousness of yourself, which I think is super important, like uncovering something that is in your subconscious. Can you tell me a bit more about what that looks like? How does that come out for you?
When I started to work as a lawyer in a house, I was still in the legal society. And then I think the law solves everything. But in the business world, law is a part of the business. And then when we provide the legal solutions, maybe it is no in the court, but it can be yes in the business scene. However, when I open my eyes through the experiences, I really noticed that it's just a part of the business. It's a part of the society. The way to contribute with the legal knowledge varies, and then we can really open and then we can really commence our business.
I see what you're saying. So it might be a no in the court in the pure legal sense, but in business, it's a little different because it's not a courtroom. So you're opening your eyes up to other things that might be relevant as well as the law.
Yes, exactly.
Right, I see. So, Keiko, you've also been recognized on the Legal 500 GC Power List, and I know you've been a panelist at one of the GC summits, and I believe you've also co-authored a practical legal handbook. Can you tell us a bit more about these things? Because I think these are also uncovering this unconsciousness that you just mentioned. They're bringing out things that are not purely about law, but are about things to do with the business. Can you help me understand what you've done there with those successes?
Thank you very much, Catherine. I'm very blessed that my journey to be a conductor from the violinist or recognized as these kind of awards, and then also the book. In the book, I wrote about how the legal can really support the business by shaping the organization from the legal point of view as well as a market point of view.
Right. So what happened there with the authoring of the legal handbook? How did that come about? Is that you and a few other authors working together?
Yes, yes. I was very fortunate that one of the lawyer gave me the opportunity to write a part of the handbook, and then I was very lucky to write about how the lawyers can contribute in the in-house in a matter of the governance.
Is it luck though? Didn't you really earn it because you were being seen by someone else who acknowledged and could recognize your ability? It's more than luck, isn't it? What do you think?
I think it's a coincidence. My bio was in the SNS. Some of the people noticed me, and then he gave me the opportunity to write.
There you go. So it's kind of lucky, but it's also serendipity, I think, that people notice you. And that means to me it's important to be out there, to be displaying what you can do and showing people. Did you say SNS?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So do you think that's right to be not hiding away, but also be active and be out there and showing what you're capable of?
Yes, it's gonna inspire the other people and then it's gonna be the guide for the others.
Right, I agree with you. So, Cake, I'd really love to ask you if there's something that's been a stumble in your life, maybe a setback, that actually at the time felt very difficult, but ended up making you stronger and was perhaps like a turning point in your career.
Thank you, Catherine. I think the setback I had most was the amazing few years of being a housewife and then being a mother. Before that, I was thinking to really graduate a good university, to really go to a good company as a great story. But after being housewife, I was very fortunate to be myself. No title of the company, no title of the university, but just being myself. I was thinking I was isolated from the society, but it's not. I was always surrounded by my family, by my friends who my kids brings. And then I learned a lot that I apologize many things because my kids that I didn't do, but the kids did, and then that makes me grow to really see what's going on in the society, and then the stereotype is something that the society believes to guide us most, but you can really select your path and then you can really build your life.
So I'm hearing that you may have thought that becoming a housewife, not having a title might have been a stumble or a setback, but in fact, you became the conductor of your life, right?
Yes.
The conductor of yourself.
Yes.
You got to grow and see what was really important in viewing society from a place that wasn't connected to any title or status, but you could see that from what you thought maybe was a taking back into being a person who wasn't out in the working world, but that gave you the actual strength to see and do what you're doing now.
Exactly.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? Because I think a lot of women lawyers, perhaps who take time out from work, think that it is a setback, I'm going off the track. But you seem to think about that differently. It's a strength.
Yes.
Amazing. Wow. Is there one piece of wisdom then out of all the things we've talked about today that you'd like people to take away from what you've said? Or is there something that we've missed that you wanted to talk about today?
I think stay positive, enjoy your life are the keys of being conductor of your life.
Wow, thank you so much. Shall we move into the quick fire round?
Sure.
I'd love to ask you, since you seem to like reading and writing, is there a book, maybe a resource, could be a podcast even, that you recommend lawyers, but not only lawyers, maybe leaders or leaders who want to grow into their leadership more?
Mm. Yes, thank you, Catherine. I really like the book that's How to Win Friends and Influence People by
I think it's Dale Carnegie,
yes,
isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, tell me more.
Yes, I really believe that if you have the if you can have the trusted relationship with people, you can start from there. And the book really teach us how to have that trusted relationship.
That's a great book. Have you ever done the Dale Carnegie course?
Oh, not yet.
It's available in
Mm,
Tokyo. I did it in English.
really?
It's quite an investment of time over 3 months. Once a week, it's
Mm,
in English and Japanese if you wish to
mm,
choose, but it really goes deep down into those lessons that are within Dale Carnegie's teachings. I
that's good.
certainly recommend it. It was fantastic.
Thank you, Catherine. I'd love
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Mm,
If you were not a lawyer, what do you
Mm.
think you might be doing instead? Conducting an
I
orchestra.
That's a super nice job. If I can choose, I would be architect.
Why is that?
I really want to design the life, and then I think the house is one of the really nice foundation of the family, of the life, and then of the business, whatever we do.
Mm.
So I really want to make the comfortable place.
Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Have you been somewhere really nice in Japan lately? Maybe you can share a place or a person or a passion that you've discovered about Japan. I know you're Japanese, but have you discovered something as a Japanese person in your own country?
Yes, I really like Okinawa.
Mm,
It's very warm, people are warm, the sea is really beautiful. It gives us really positive energy.
confession, I haven't been to Okinawa yet.
Oh, we should go.
Oh, if only the sake bar was also there. And I think we already touched on the question that I do love asking, and we mentioned it before, if your career was a metaphor. And I think that's it, isn't it? That you're a violinist who's become the conductor.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we have reached the end of our chat today. I really thank you for joining me for a lot of laughs and some really great reflections there. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you in this way. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, sorry, my English is not really
Hey,
fluent, but
don't worry about that.
I think that's a great opportunity to really think of what I've done so far too.
Yeah.
And then I hope this can guide guardrail a bit to
Yes,
the others.
that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, we hope that others can be inspired. And I think that's part of it is that you tell your story and it's inspiring for others, but it's also inspiring for you to reflect and look back and think, I did a good job so far. And what else can I do now? So it's a good time to take a pause and reflect. I'm
Mm.
glad you enjoyed it. If someone would like to keep the conversation going with you, where can they find you? Would that be LinkedIn, where I found you?
Yes, 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 LinkedIn. Yes.
Fantastic. We'll put your LinkedIn details in the show notes. And for my listeners, as I said, I know this has inspired you. So please do subscribe, leave a review for us. We love you giving us feedback. It helps
Sure.
other people who are listening. If listeners are listening, it helps them to find this show and find those answers to the questions that they always
Mm.
had about a career in law in Japan, but they didn't know where to find them. Yeah, that's all for today. See you back here for the next episode. Cheers, kampai, and bye for now.